Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I do have a bit of time before work today, so I figured I might as well just jump into another experiment. Today's plan is basically just making a prototype using the silk organza that I got, and by using a template of this banana leaf, I'm going to stiffen the fabric and mold it into that shape using a mixture of PVA glue and some water. And hopefully, if this goes right, fingers crossed, I'll be able to incorporate these techniques into my installation. This is going to be a bit interesting because I haven't really tried this before, but it seems pretty straightforward from what I gathered online. So I'm keen to get into it. Here is the star of the show today. I'll be using this silk organza as a prototype, basically. If this does work, in the final version, I'm going to actually switch over to a different material called cinamide. But in the meantime, I've got my silk organza here, and I'm actually going to make two different versions. One will be just a single layer of this, using multiple coats of wood glue, just to see how effectively that glue will stiffen the fabric. And my other prototype will be multiple layers of this organza. Wow, so I can't believe it's been a whole month since I recorded that last footage, mainly because that entire time has been a blur. I've been trudging along with my dissertation and also the presentation that I'm doing in a fortnight. That's pretty crazy. My creative work has also been developing quite nicely. I think we're getting beyond the stage of simply recreating objects, which kinda is dangerous territory because I'm talking about, in my project, doing things beyond representation. So, rather than go down that road, I'm starting to kind of look at the forms and mess around with them. At the start of this project, I was more in the mindset of, recreating objects that kind of trigger memories from childhood. However, I'm not talking about traumatic memories per se. It's more from those memories and from that trauma that I experienced, I want to show in my work the loss or having my understanding of family being put on its head and jumbled up, and it no longer resembles the definition I had of it growing up. So to kind of demonstrate that idea with this banana leaf, I am tacking on the silk on this side, and as you can see, it's pretty defined, it's visible, you know that it differs from this. If you turn it over, however, all that form is kind of disappearing. So just to give you guys a close-up, if I can. Yep. This is all fuzzy. And there is a very satisfying tactile quality to that, because not only can you see the pinpricks, which could evoke a very, say, painful transformation, all of these memories that have been defined here, they're all fuzzed out, they're all blurry, they're all obscured. But also, like, material-wise and how it's meant to contrast with the wool, that is still showing up there. This is still very clearly, translucent, but it's even more blurred out. So this doesn't affect that entirely, which is great. Oh, I'll probably show some more objects that I've been working on. Okay, so for example, with my candles that I'm making, let's say this one, I actually haven't put the candle wick in. Otherwise, you can kind of tell that it's a melting candle. It's very detailed, it's very firm. So there's that, there's something very defined. This is also quite defined, and it also has a little wick in there too. You can already see that even though this is like fairly firm and defined as well, it's starting to melt. So there is movement in there in the way that the wool or the wax is trying to pull down. I'll use this one as the next example because it is much more softer. It is only defined at this point and where the wick is, and it's slowly pulling out. It's all fuzzy, it's all cloudy, and it's just stretching out across the table. So we're going from definitive images to more deformed images that are collapsing, that are dissolving, disappearing, in essence, forgetting, until it becomes something like this. It is very defined and sculptural in the center, that's where it needs to be, but everything else around it is beginning to be softer and less felted. And I'm hopefully going to extend this further, but for now, as an example, I really like how this has turned out. So that's pretty much where I'm up to in this project. It's really coming along nicely, and I can finally see a logic kind of running through. In the meantime though, I'm really gonna have to bunker down and work on this presentation speech. I am so excited, I can't believe that it's happening in a fortnight. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.